Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 25th of October. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. Now I'm going to give you the major themes of this week, and then please stay with me. I'll dive deep to give you your detailed zodiac forecast for each of the 12 signs. Now this week's most glorious influence goes between Venus in Sagittarius and Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius, in the friendly sign of Aquarius. Now this combination could see some kind of gathering, a reunion, it may be some travel plans with a larger group of people, and all these things can provide a lot of uplift. It's also possible that somebody could enter your circle, or someone who's been a friend for some while start to creep up on your senses in terms of a romantic possibility. But Venus in the sign of Sagittarius is a truth seeker. Jupiter in Aquarius is thinking about the wider needs of people. So it would hardly be a surprise if the person that you were chatting to, either socially or perhaps even in terms of romance, was someone who's a bit different, a bit more unique. Certainly somebody who could be a bit of a free spirit. But if you are wanting something more devotional, the fact that Neptune, the planet of dreams, squares with Venus creates a little bit of uncertainty. That aspect can see us be tempted to put someone on a pedestal, and that's something we should try to avoid this week. However much the good vibes are there are some more cautionary energies that I need to tell you about. Not least, the Sun is challenged by the stern, restrictive energies of Saturn. Now Saturn is in the sector of the group, Aquarius, no longer in retrograde, which is to be celebrated, but the Sun is finding its way in the sign of Scorpio, which is very much to do with deep commitment and devotion. So if you're wanting that in a relationship and you get to know someone that you find very attractive, but for them it's more of a fleeting experience, that could be quite hurtful. So just be conscious of the reality of where you might be coming from in terms of your expectations, and where somebody else may also be coming from theirs. Also, Mars in the sign of relating, Libra, where it's afflicted, is in a square with Pluto. Now this is an aspect of force and drive and desire, but it's not one that's so much to do with gently talking things over. It's quite raw, it's quite visceral, it wants its reward, it's a desire-led planet, Mars, and therefore it's to do with instant gratification. So however much someone may be relating, their desire and ambition around that relationship or that situation can be quite unbridled. Just be aware that by the end of the week, Mars does move into the sign of Scorpio, which it governs, and will be there through to the second week of December. And that is going to be very helpful in a way, because being in its dignity will help it to strut its stuff much better than it has in the sign of Libra, where it's in detriment. So just be conscious of that. But of course, Mars in Scorpio brings that desire element of our nature even more strongly to the fore. But the quarter moon on Thursday in Leo suggests a little bit of jealousy could be washing around this week. It's not going to be a walk in the park week, but there is those glorious aspects. Neptune squaring Venus can still be very, very good as long as we keep one toe on terra firma. But that link between Venus and Jupiter is really, really beautiful. I think we just need to make sure that whatever our expectations are, we keep the reality very much to the forefront of our thinking, and that way we can make the most of this week. But please stay with me for your deep dive video. But if you are new to my channel, I would be honoured if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. And remember, you can get your free daily horoscope fired to your device each morning by clicking on the link beneath this video and subscribing. Or if you'd like to get your year 2022 personal horoscope, the year is rushing up towards us. You can order it now, get the rest of this year free, plus 30% off and a character analysis. Please do see the link beneath this video. Hello Taurus, and welcome to your in-depth forecast for week commencing the 25th of October. Your ruler Venus is the star player this week. In the sign of Sagittarius, it's really desirous of loot or lust, but it is linking very productively with Jupiter in the part of your scope to do with worldly interaction. So charm will get you everywhere. If you're wanting to make a success of something, you're having a negotiation, forcing something could be counterproductive. And yet if you do feel that you need to use your legendary willpower, even a bit of stubbornness, the fact that Mars and Pluto are in a right angle is going to help you across the first half of this week to be incredibly single-minded. But what you don't want is to achieve a goal, but actually it turns out to be a bit of an empty victory, because with the Sun in your 7th house of relating and Saturn squaring it for the second half of this week in your sector of work and success, yes, you could push something forwards, but it could create some ramifications that last for some while by trying a little bit too hard, to be honest. What you will have, even if someone around the middle of this week seems a bit out of sorts, someone who's close to you, family member, or you find yourself adjudicating between two people who aren't getting on so well that you're fond of, once Mars moves into your opposite sign at the end of this week, oh my word, you have such a marvellous opportunity over the next 6 weeks to really go for what you want around all sorts of relationships, but also to be much more competitive, but in a more appropriate way. Because the two rulers of Scorpio are in conflict in the second half of this week, the thing we've all got to try and avoid is getting so fed up that we try to really drive something through just because we want some immediate progress. So marshalling our frustration and anger is going to be key this week. And the fact that Venus forges that beautiful link with Jupiter, a more challenging one with Neptune, but Neptune for you is in the part of your horoscope to do with friendship. So is it the case that someone in your friendship circle is going to start to seep up and become much more part of your consciousness when it comes to neat attraction? I think it's entirely possible at this time.